Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Well, y'all know what that means. Hello, everybody. Another late night or early morning, whichever way you want to look at it, broadcast here. 2 cents sports and entertainment. I am Scuba, the host of this show, which has been more of a picks show lately. But I'm going to be starting to do some more smaller videos. I think it's time to start doing that. And start having some regular shows as well. Some things are working on some things here, and pardon me while I adjust the camera. Anyway, welcome. If you are listening live, it's unlikely because it's it's 20 to 1 in the morning. It's a good time for me to get this video out here for my Week 15 NFL picks. If you are just listening to this in the morning, it's good morning. Let's have a happy Sunday today. How about that? We are wrapping up the last couple weeks of the NFL season. It has been a crazy one. Fantasy's wrapping up a little bit. The season is just about there, folks. Things are starting to settle in. Teams are positioning for playoffs, and some are being eliminated. Like the Cowboys this evening, were finally officially eliminated in their loss tonight to the New York Jets. Of course, I did have the Jets in this one. I did not think it would be a close game like it turned out to be, but it was. Cowboys go down 19-16 and are officially eliminated at 4-10. Yes, that division is so bad it took them until this long, Week 15, to be eliminated. Of course, I think the Bucs were in that same position almost last year in their own division. But at any rate, here we are, Week 15. Speaking of the Bucs, horrible Thursday night game. Not really surprised, though, to be honest. The Bucs really took a beating on Sunday afternoon against the Saints. I have a real problem with these Thursday games. It's just not fair for teams to have to go playing on a Thursday after having played on Sunday. You're really only giving them 3 days rest, and that's just not enough time. And most of these Thursday night games are just garbage. They're sloppy. Weird things happen most of the time. It's just because these guys aren't quite healed yet, and it just makes for a bad product. And and the Bucs were definitely part of that. I'm not making any excuses because the Rams were going through the same thing, but the Bucs particularly did take quite a beating on Sunday, and it showed. Jameis was hit quite a bit, and he was off for most of the game on Thursday night. A lot of his passes sailing a little bit high at times, and it really wasn't until the fourth quarter when the Bucs were really down, or the second half, that Jameis just started going off. I will tell you this, though: the Rams secondary is really, really tough, and the Bucs made them look pretty vulnerable now. In the last quarter of that game, Jameis ends up throwing for 360 yards, and most of all of that came in the last, in the second half, and a lot of it even in the fourth quarter. And what that should tell you, as Mike Evans got 157 yards or so, is that maybe, just maybe, the Bucs need to just let him start airing it out, start doing this, what they did, because they were picking the ball around were pretty much as they pleased for the second. It was a little bit too late, unfortunately. with 7.5 minutes left, the Bucks are down there, down 2 scores. And I was a little perturbed because they decided to kick down 3 scores. Excuse me. They decided to kick a field goal instead of going for it. That was, and then you end up losing by 8 because they did end up getting the ball back anyway and still got a touchdown. But then there's just nothing left after that. They were relying on an onside kick. I'm sorry, 7.5 minutes left. You're down by 19 or whatever it was. You need to go for that touchdown. Forget that field goal. But anyway, that's what happened. So the Bucks do fall to 6-8. Unlikely to finish 8-8. I don't believe they got Carolina still left and somebody next week. I can't think of it right off the top of my head. It's late. But anyway, let's get to the picks here. 9-7 last week I went. So I finally had a winning after 2 horrific weeks. Finally went 9-7. Improved my overall record to 120-87. So still respectable. Nothing to scream about, but it's a respectable record nonetheless. So let's get ready for the rest of this week's slate. What do you say? Anyway, I have got this week rolling on board here. Looking for my playlist here. Of course, I did have the Jets tonight, as I said. I did forget to post that, but yeah, I can show you one of my Monday night, Thursday night daily fantasy lineup where I had too many Jets apparently in it because I just fell short of cashing the money. But I had Bilal Powell, who did well for me. Fitzgerald I thought would do a little bit better for me, and Decker did get a touchdown that saved me. And anyway, I had the Jets this week, and obviously my first pick of the week moving forward for tomorrow or for today, the Chiefs over the Ravens. Chiefs coming to travel to the Ravens. The Ravens are extremely devastated. It's pretty bad, but I don't think the Ravens stand a chance. The Chiefs should win that one pretty easily. Next up, you got the Texans going into town to face the Colts. Texans, Patriots kind of laid it to them last week, as I kind of expected. But I look for the Texans to rebound. I'm going to pick the Texans this week. It looks like if Matt Hasselbeck can't go for the Colts, that Charlie Whitehurst may be the quarterback. Going to be interesting to see that happen. Charlie Whitehurst, real quick, 10 years in the league. It's already been 10 years, unbelievably. He's been a captain clipboard. But I'll tell you what, he's made $17 million over those 10 years, and the man's barely ever played. So he hasn't taken a beating. He's been in the NFL for 10 years. That's a pretty darn good career, and he's going to be pretty healthy and such whenever he's done landing on rosters. I've always said that's probably a better gig than trying to get yourself to start in the long run. If you can last 10 years in the league and make $17 million, it's better than trying to play 4 years and make $17 million and not be able to walk. So anyway, I digress. Next up, we got another 1 o'clock game. The Titans travel to Foxborough. Patriots are starting to get healthy, folks. You better look out. Edelman came back to practice this week. He will not be playing tomorrow, thankfully. As we all know, Gronk came back last week. So he's getting healthy. Amendola's getting healthy. They're starting to get their defensive guys back, although they did lose easily this week, which was, that's kind of a big hit. But Patriots getting healthy right at the right time, and let's hope Edelman can be back and be himself, or at least most of himself, and let's get rock and rolling. Next up, we have the Bills traveling to Washington. Another 1 o'clock game. The Bills, disappointingly, lost to the Eagles last week. I really thought they could have had that game. That was a lock, I think. I even was quoted as saying on my show last week. I certainly was way off on that one. I'm going to go with Washington this week. Something this is a weird team. Every time I think like Washington's going to win, I pick them to lose, and every time I pick them to lose, they seem to win. So I'm gonna go with them this week, and it's just out of a hunch, no particular reason, except other than that they are at home. Next up, we have the Bears traveling up to Minnesota. Again, another team I also thought in the Bears. I thought they were a little bit better, and as soon as I start believing in them a little bit, they turn around and laid an egg last week. And I'm going to count on them landing another egg this week. The Vikings are going to have to run Adrian Peterson quite a bit, I'm afraid, this week. Teddy Bridgewater just can't get it done in the air, folks. I mean, this is just ridiculous. But I think on the ground they should be able to do enough. I like the Vikings at home against the Bears. Here is my upset special of the week. And I am taking the home team, New York Football Giants, over the Carolina Panthers this week. The Panthers are going to suffer their first loss. Why? Because it's time. There's just no way they can go into it. There's no way. And the Giants, we all know, and unfortunately firsthand, they are, no pun very much intended, giant killers. The Giants seem to be the team that just beats teams when they're not supposed to, and look for that to happen this week. Carolina's running game is going to be a little bit hurt. Jonathan Stewart's out, basically going to be leading on Tolbert and Fozzie Whittaker, excuse me, not Forrest Whitaker is an actor. Fozzie Whittaker, so I'm going to make and Greg Olson's a little bit banged up. I'm not sure if he's playing yet. Everybody keeps saying Cam can do it on his own. Well, he's going to have to prove it tomorrow or today. So we'll see what happens. But this is my upset special, taking the Giants to give Carolina their first loss. Okay, next up we have the Atlanta Free-Falling Falcons traveling to Jacksonville. I'm going with the Jacksonville here. Jacksonville has a chance to win their division. They have a lot to play for. I mistakenly picked the Falcons as the upset special over Carolina last week. Way off on that one. I just had a different feeling about Atlanta after losing to the Bucs. I thought that they would be a little upset, a little looking for some redemption, and really go out. And what I saw was a team that's quit. They have quit. And I'm going to count on that team that quit to lose to Jacksonville again, who has a chance to win their division. Next up, another surprise. I got Green Bay Packers travel to the Raiders. And I'm going to go with the Packers in this one, although the Packers are still struggling on offense. The Raiders had a huge win last week against the Broncos. Thank you very much. But the Raiders are the Raiders, and so they're going to fall back down to earth and be all Raider-like, and I like the Packers in this one. Next up, this is just going to be a slaughterhouse. Browns travel to Seattle. No point in talking about this one. It's just probably going to be a mess. Next up, we have the Bengals, who devastatingly lost Andy Dalton last week. Killed me, fantasy-wise, across the board in multiple leagues. Traveling to San Francisco to face the 49ers. I still think that the Bengals have enough to win this game defensively as well as offensively. I think this could be a big Jeremy Hill game to keep it safe out of A.J. McCarron's hands. But A.J. McCarron didn't look too bad last week in relief. So I think the Bengals still have enough here. But I think as far as the Bengals being able to do anything, they're going to make the playoffs, but they're going to go limping in. They're going to be kind of like the Arizona Cardinals were last year when they lost Carson Palmer late in the season after being, phenomenal. So I just see the Bengals. Unfortunately, Bengal fan, they're going to be coming up short once again. So we are going to go next. Broncos travel to Pittsburgh. A big game for both teams. Pittsburgh is still on the outside looking in. especially with the Jets winning yesterday or tonight, excuse me. Technically yesterday, and the Chiefs looking like they have a pretty easy game against the Ravens. Even if they win, they'll be 9-5 and still be out. The Chiefs hold tiebreakers over them, as well as the Jets. So the Steelers are looking in, and they got a lot more to play for. I actually like the Steelers at home in this game, and I'm looking for a little bit of a Bronco collapse here. And let's see if they bring Peyton Manning back to play. And, as if that's going to help. I think that's going to make things worse, to be honest with you, and I hope they do it. Last up, for the 4 o'clock games, we have the Dolphins traveling all the way out to California to face the Chargers. Could be the Chargers' last home game before getting shipped off. At least it's quite possible. I like the Dolphins in this game, though. The Chargers are kind of a mess. Not kind of, they're absolutely a mess. But, again, so are the Dolphins. The Dolphins did show a little bit last week, although they faltered at the end, that Lamar Miller can run the ball. I don't know why they stopped giving it to him last week. He was having a huge day. San Diego has the worst rush defense in the league. If they can just remember that Lamar Miller can run the ball, I think the Dolphins can do enough on the ground to help Tannehill out and to go up top and can beat this San Diego team that just is having a hard time scoring points these days because their receiving core is down just as much. Let's go for the Dolphins here. For the Sunday night game, the Cardinals and travel to the Eagles. The Eagles somehow just have won another game. They're still not very good, though. And I'm going to take the Cardinals to run away and put a lot of points up on the board. Counting on a big night from Carson Palmer. Looking for Michael Floyd to do some damage. I like the Cardinals to kind of put the Eagles back in their place a little bit. Last, not least, it's a sad, unless you have fantasy implications involved in this game on Monday night. The Lions travel to New Orleans. I'm just going to go with the Lions this one. Again, that horrible secondary. I think Stafford and Calvin Johnson, if he's healthy enough, going to put some points up on the Saints. Otherwise, like I said, this game is just horrible. That's why I have to pick. Anyway, folks, I just want to say thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Hope to do a little bit more videos now. Start doing some subject matter. Just do short videos as opposed to a long show. But I might still do a long show. College bowl games have started. Not any major ones yet, so I'll probably get on and start doing some college bowl picks here too as well. Spread the word. And look for me to be making a guest appearance on another radio show, which I will announce later when things become more official, if they become official. So anyway, signing off here. Everybody have a great Sunday. This is Scuba, 2 Cents Sports and Entertainment coming at you live or recording, however you're watching it. Anyway, have a great Sunday, everybody. We'll look forward to seeing you soon.
Turn down for what?